Hello, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. It's a new year and this is a time that many of us come up with some goals to achieve, some New Year's resolutions, some structure to follow throughout upcoming year. I thought I'm not going to do like any goals video, but I thought I will make a video things I learned in my 20s, and that would maybe help some of you to use these as points of reference when you are setting your goals for upcoming year, so that you don't have to learn hard way by your own mistakes, but you can take note from somebody else's experience and advice, and maybe that would help you. Last couple of years of my life were quite intense, and that was personal life wise, job wise. I changed country of living many times. The last 4 years I was living in Middle East. Before I was living in Greece. Before I was living in Poland. I was living in US as well. Now I live in the UK. So a lot was going on, personal life wise, and so many changes. So that gave me opportunity to gain so much experience and learn so much that I would not be able to learn all this while I would be stuck in one place and having repetitive things to do every single day throughout those years. Sometimes I like to say that what I lived so far would be enough for the whole life of some other people. So I thought I can share with you what I learned. I came up with these 8 things which struck me the most when I was trying to make this list for you, and when I was thinking of the most valuable experience I gained throughout the last years. So let's get started. Number 8. People will come and go, and that's okay. We have to embrace that, and we have to make peace with that statement that people will come and go. If you grow, if you change your life, if you do things to better yourself, which are going out of your comfort zone and trying new things, changing your life completely, you have to be prepared that people will go. People will leave your life for all the different reasons. Some would be jealousy. Sometimes, let's face it, unfortunately, as sad as it is, people don't like to see you grow. People don't like to see you grow because that makes them feel worse about themselves, because they are jealous and they are not willing to make those changes, so they don't want to see you succeed and they don't want to see you rise above. And unfortunately, we know that sometimes there are not more jealous people than those who started where you were. And we have to learn to let them go. Not all the reasons why people are leaving are bad. Sometimes we just grow apart because we choose different paths in our life, and lives get busy and we live completely different life nowadays, so it's hard to catch up and being close on an everyday basis, but that's okay. But there's also a good side to it. We grow, we explore different areas, we go for a different job, we gain new circles, and sometimes we get throughout this way we gain people who are more supportive than where we started initially. So that's a good thing. We should not cry about it that people will come and go, because that's a part of life and they will come and go. To sum that up, we should not cry about the fact that people will leave and come to our life. That's a part of life, that's a part of journey. The more vivid the journey is, the more changes in that area of your life you will have, and that's okay. Sometimes it's better to be on your own, and I learned it very well. I spent lots of times by myself, not because I'm introvert, but that was due to the fact I was tired. I was flying across the world, doing many ultra long haul flights. All I wanted was rest sometimes. And I was never someone who had to surround myself with tons of people all the time. Especially nowadays, social media creates this pressure and puts this pressure on young people that you have to be all the time out there. You have to constantly doing something cool. You have to have this huge circle of friends. And if you are not doing all this, you are a loser. So that's a lot of pressure. And I think it's a fake creation. And that's not what life is about. It's okay to be on your own. Being on your own gives you time to reflect on things, to sit back and think, to plan ahead, to think of what you want to do next. It helps you to cancel out the noise of other people's influence. Sometimes it's good influence, but sometimes it's also bad influence, and no one knows you better than yourself. You need to listen to your own voice and your own thought, and at the end of the day you are the one who's responsible for your life, so you have to make decision by yourself, because later on you cannot blame anyone else for that. So it's good to be alone sometimes, to have time to digest your thoughts, to think, to reflect, to cancel out other people's voices, noise. You do not have to fit in, and it's okay to be different. There is a big pressure on young people to fit in. They want to belong, they want to feel the part of the group, but that's not always something that is mandatory. It's okay to be different, it's okay to follow different path. Unfortunately, the circles that we belong to when we are young are not the ones that are destined for us. We are born in a different parts of the world, in a different cultural or financial environments, and that's not always where we want to end up with. So it's okay not to fit into a current environment that we are. It's okay to be different. It's okay to keep your integrity and individuality. It's good not to follow the crowd and have your own opinion and be able to voice it, of course in a respectful manner, but do not hold back in the fear of not being liked. I always say, whether you would like to be liked or respected, because fitting in and agreeing with everything that other people or the group say will make you be liked, but having integrity and your own opinion will make you being respected. It's not do or die. Failure is a part of life and we all should embrace it. We should not be taken back by the fact that we tried something, it failed, and now everybody is criticizing us for that. Because, there will be always people who will be just waiting for you to fail, to tell you in your face, I told you so. But those usually are people who don't do anything with their own life anyway. So that's easy for them. And you should not be intimidated by their opinion, because you should not care about opinion of people who are not in life where you are trying to be. Maybe not all of you know that, but before I became flight attendant in Middle East and after I was working in a bank for many years, I opened my own business. I opened translation agency. I was not a translator, but I owned agency where professional translators were working. That was a very difficult time of my life for me personally. I had lots of problems in my personal life, and the things were not going well, and I was not ready to run a business that big. I was not prepared for that, and I was not mentally in the position to succeed. So the business failed, long story short. Did it stop me from anything else in my life? No, it didn't. Did it make me sitting in the corner beating myself about it because I lost lots of money on that? No, it didn't. You have to pick up your pieces and go further and go for other things. And you have to have this drive in your life. You tried, it failed, it's okay, but at least you tried. You move on to the next thing. And if someone is criticizing you for that, maybe they should look at their own life first. Fear of failure shouldn't be greater than a desire to succeed. If you are scared to try something new, something you dream of, just because you are afraid you will fail or you will not make it, just think again. Never settle if you don't like your current job, if you're not happy in your current relationship, if you hate whatever your life circumstances are. Don't be afraid to change it, because, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I will not be able to survive. I will not be able to do it on my own. I will not be able to do that. No, you will be able to. Just get a grip. You can do it. You have it in yourself. Every one of us has it in ourselves. Everything is in your head. Everything is in your mentality. You can do it. Don't stay in a bad job. Don't stay in a bad relationship, just in a fear of failure. Most of the choices I made in my life turned out for the better. I was scared. I was in fear so many times before making huge steps, huge changing steps and big decisions. But in the end, it was all for the better. So trust the process, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and do not quit doing things just for the sake of the fear, because you're gonna regret that. Just remember, you got this. 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 Okay, you got this. Okay, you got this. What matters the most in life? It's your health. And by your health, I mean both physical and mental. You have to take care of yourself. You have to have a healthy lifestyle. You should eat well and sleep well and take care of your rest, but also mental health. And that means your relationships, both with your family, your partner, your friends, everyone. What you feed your brain with will reflect in who you are. So if you surround yourself with negative people, that will manifest in your life, unfortunately, as well. And if your partner is dragging you down, if your family is dragging you down, that's area of life to work on, because nothing is worth your health. Nothing is worth for you to suffer. Nothing is worth for you to go through depression that will manifest in your physical health as well. So put yourself and your health, both physical and mental, first always. Invest in yourself, and by investing in yourself I mean education and growth. Not everyone, unfortunately, is lucky and fortunate enough to be born into families that are wealthy enough to provide a perfect education. And there's nothing we can do about it at the time. But what we can do is to invest in our growth ourselves, to make the biggest use that we can out of the resources that we have. Nowadays, there is countless amount of resources. There is internet, books, podcasts. You can do so much to grow yourself and to educate yourself. There are so many free courses you can attend to, meetings you can attend to. There's so much you can do to educate yourself. And education and degree doesn't always guarantee success in life. Sometimes successful people are those without a degree, and degree doesn't guarantee you success. And I made a video about it too. Is it worth having degree? I personally have master degree, in case you don't know, but I made the whole video about it. If degree is worth it, I will link it below, and I encourage you to watch that too. And degree or not, I encourage you to invest in yourself, your growth, your education, your development. Spend your money wisely. Believe me, this is so important. Recently on YouTube there is a trend for the videos, the dumbest purchases in my 20s, and it's like everywhere. And it just makes me think, why? Why? Why people do that? Because I see girls showing tons of super expensive handbags and items and whatever designer stuff, yet they live in rented apartments. And I think that's just dumb, honestly. You should prioritize your spendings and invest your money wisely. Be financially responsible and financially independent. That's something that we should learn in our 20s especially. First, buy necessities and investments like apartment and other assets, and then spend for pleasures. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing wrong in buying a super cute, nice handbag if you can afford it. You know me, I have lots of nice handbags and I'm all for it. But when you can afford it and when it's the right time and when you have money for it. Some people say do not buy something unless you can afford it twice. And I agree with that. Nowadays, media and all adverts that we are surrounded with from each side promotes this excessive consumerism, and that leads to behaviors that people spend their money where they can't afford it, and that is something really wrong and something that needs to be changed, and it's something that is unnecessary. Yes, my husband comes from a wealthy family, and yes, he is more wealthy than I am, but that's something crucial in here. When I met him, I already had everything that I need. I had my apartment. Actually, I had two. I sold one last year, which I purchased and paid off with my own money. I purchased it for mortgage, but then I paid it off with my money that I earned in a time twice shorter than initially planned. And I think that's important. Of course, there are so many factors and so many other aspects of relationship if you want to address that now, but now we discuss financial side. And I think that is super important when you go into relationship to be financially independent. Because what I did observe living in Middle East and being a flight attendant, there are so many girls who has this Cinderella syndrome. They think that they will live like there's no tomorrow, spend all their money partying, spending for things they actually don't need, and they do not own anything that would be any safety cushion for the future. No savings, no properties, nothing like that. And that is so miserable. believe me, men will respect you so much more if you come into relationship being independent. And those girls who have this Cinderella syndrome, thinking that they can find men who will save them, there are not many valuable men who would go for it, believe me, unless they are rich but look for a trophy wife, a man who has all things right in here, which is the man you are looking for, right? Would appreciate a woman who's responsible and would not make him go down with his finances, and that's a woman who is financially independent usually. So ladies, I encourage you so much to spend your money wisely and be financially responsible, because that will get you so far in life. This last subject leads me to thinking of all the things you should do before going into a relationship and how to find a perfect man. Actually, I was asked about making a video on this topic several times. Let me know down in the comment if you want to know my approach to that, because I have so much to say about the topic, but that's a subject for a completely different video. So that's about it. That's my 8th thing I learned in my 20s, and I recommend you to take all of them, some of them, whatever suits you, to help you in your life choices. And if it will, I would be more than happy, because I am all about putting my experience out there if some other people can benefit from that. Let me know down in the comments if you like this type of videos, if you like this type of topics, and if you find this advice helpful and useful, and you want me to make more of this kind in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Remember one thing, if there's one thing to remember from this video, it's you got this. Subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and I'll see you in my next one.